Hello, everybody. How are you on this bright-ish day in Toronto? But I'm happy to be here with you to talk about an important topic, a very sort of topic that, again, I see often in the office. This sort of the type of couple that is a match made in hell. A match made in hell. Hi, I'm Victoria Lorient Fabish. I'm a registered psychotherapist. I'm a holistic psychotherapist, and I'm coming to you live today to talk about those very interesting topics that are all psychotherapeutic, relationship, self-empowerment, all that stuff, and lots of videos that you can access on my website as well. All these videos go there, but let's talk about what I call the match made in hell. The narcissist and the codependent, and they seem to just attract one another. So let's just talk about the narcissist. And let me be clear. And I just, it's a buzzword out there, narcissist. Everyone is a narcissist. It's just the degree of narcissism and where it becomes toxic, okay? So we're born narcissists, feed me, love me. It's all about me. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. and you're tired. It's me, right? That's what happens when we're babies. But then we get socialized out of that. And then some people don't. Trauma, abuse, they get taught this, family culture, the way that maybe their parent was a narcissist, and then to survive the narcissist environment, they themselves become the narcissist, and they learn the tactics of manipulation, they learn how to get people on side, and this becomes a very, very personality style, possibly even a personality disorder, in which there's very little compassion and very little empathy for other people. It's all about, what can I get for me? What can I get for me? And let me be clear that when we say self-love, self-value, self-esteem, self-care, that's an aspect of narcissism, but it is the healthy version of it, which is important for our survival, for our good socialization, for our not being taken advantage, not becoming too codependent, which I'm going to talk about momentarily. Okay, so it's when I'm talking about the match made in hell, is that narcissistic personality that is highly seductive, highly charming, very intelligent, often awesome to be around initially, and then problems occur because that person becomes almost sussing out where the weakness is, where the hole in that they can get in and start to take over the other person's life. And then that match becomes the person who is very codependent, which I've mentioned in other videos. Their self-esteem rises and falls based on the other person's tone, other person's wants, needs, the other person's wants and needs. For the codependent, most often, that's the place that they're most comfortable with, is coping with, dealing with, focusing in on the other person, the other person's needs, the other person's wants, and the other person's moods, all of that stuff. And then that becomes the match, a highly enmeshed match, but it's a made in hell match because it's a ton of enabling of the narcissistic behavior and a ton of enabling of the codependent behavior. And believe it or not, the codependent is not all the victim either. The codependent does a lot of controlling and manipulating through their own means, guilting and playing the victim, or not playing the victim, being the victim, feel sorry for me, take care of me. But, I've got a purpose because I can now, I can work with this person, who I can be in a relationship with this person who is going to just take over my life. So I don't even have to, the codependent's inner cry is, I don't have to deal with me. I can deal with you. Now, Dana Cole says something here. Thanks for this, just dissolving this type of relationship. Good, Dana! Nicely done, and I agree. The term narcissist is overused and a term of great evil when it is in all of us. Yeah, this is the truth, Dana. We are all, I think there's healthy narcissism, and we can't negate that because that's what keeps us, I believe, healthy, self-advocating. So we can't dissolve that or negate that. But we have to definitely be very, very mindful of people that are out there that have gone into the personality disorder aspect, and they have become toxic and you can, how do you recognize that kind of a person? Well, they're they're always going to turn things around. They're always going to say, no, you're to blame, or I'm the victim here. Even though they'll project a lot onto the other person. It'll be the narcissist. It says internally and externally, my needs are the only needs in the room worth having. And my emotions are the biggest and most important emotions. So let's say in a narcissistic family where the parent is a narcissist, everybody else's emotions, basically everyone gets trained to mute their emotions and to just simply allow the narcissist, the toxic narcissist, to take over. And in an adult relationship where there's a narcissist and a codependent, there's very much that dynamic going on, in which the codependent is always looking out to the narcissist partner, going, I'm wrong because they are the ones with the most important needs. They've been trained in that way. And so it becomes this incredibly toxic relationship. And by the time they end up in my office, the narcissist is saying, well, I got no problems. Whether it's female or male, I don't have a problem. You have a problem. That's why I'm in therapy. I'm not in therapy for me. I'm in therapy for this person here. This idiot, or whatever it is that they're calling them. And, which is just so hard to watch. But it is what happens. So they're not in the room for themselves, the narcissist. They're in the room, the therapy room, because of their supposed effed up partner. And that's a sign for me when a couple comes in and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? He says, well, it's all about them. It's like, okay, wait a minute, hold the phone, because it takes two to tango, people. It takes two to be in a dynamic, and so that's And when I call it the match made in hell, there are many matches that are very, very difficult, but this one is particularly difficult because it seems to be incredibly. There's an attraction toward one another. And it's like they feed each other perfectly. The codependent doesn't have to deal with themselves. They can do all with the other person. And the narcissist gets to have their way all the time. There's no pushback. There's no pushback. Periodically, they'll be like, oh, I've got to kind of, reel them back in, because now the codependent has gone into their sort of, withdrawing. But they get reeled in only to go back to that same toxic, over-enmeshed dynamic. And there's no really way out of it other than separate. It's not a relationship that I will probably work with. I'll call it, I'll see it, and I'll be like, unless this changes, and I'll do some separate therapy, one-on-one, and often the person who's the narcissist will not want one-on-one. It'll be, oh, well, it's all their problem, so okay. And I'll be like, saying to the person who's in this dynamic, I'll be describing the dynamic. And the person in this dynamic is, I did a video on getting caught in the cycle of self-denial. They are in that. They have been bred essentially to be self-denying. So I will be recommending and it's very difficult to break up. It's, these relationships last years and years and years, and it's extremely troubling and toxic and unhealthy. So I wanted to just sort of briefly point this whole thing out and just sort of give people a sense of this type of relationship. The codependent, their battle cry is, my self-esteem rises and falls based on your needs, wants, tone, mood. The narcissists, the toxic narcissists' battle cry is, give me what I want it, and I want it now. And also, I'm going to be very seductive on how I get it, and charming, because you're going to want to give me what I want. And then it'll get ugly. I hope this helps, and I hope that this is something that you are recognizing in either yourself or your friends, and just also, it's important to be wary of it if you're dating, to not be seduced by that type of a personality. And if you yourself are codependent, work on yourself so that you have self-value and have a touch of narcissism, but healthy narcissism, self-value, self-love, self-care, in which you can come to the table in the dating world in an empowered way, and you're not falling prey to that kind of a person. I write a lot about it in my second book, Connecting, Rewire Your Relationship Culture, and you can hop over to my website, Visualization Works. to check it out, because I have lots of articles there and videos. All these videos are on my website as well. And thank you for everyone who's joining me. This is my first book, Find Your Self-Culture, moving from depression and anxiety to monumental self-acceptance. And of course, we move from depression and anxiety holistically, generally in my book and in my office. Hop on over to Visualization Works. Also, I will keep these videos coming. If you have any questions, I'm considering doing a live at one point in which I press the button initially of bringing people in so I can invite people onto the broadcast. So let's do that at some point if people want to join me. That would be awesome. All right, have a beautiful, blessed day. Be kind to yourself. Be good to yourself. And we'll talk at you soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.